If you're a man over 60 and lately you've been feeling like something's missing, maybe your energy is down, your confidence isn't what it used to be, or those morning erections have become rare, it might not be your age that's holding you back. In fact, the real culprit could be hiding in plain sight, right on your breakfast plate. I'm Dr. Kaya, a urologist and men's health specialist with over 35 years of experience helping older men reclaim their vitality. And what I'm about to share with you may surprise you. There are 7 common vegetables many men eat every morning, thinking they're making healthy choices that are actually working against them. These foods can disrupt hormones, lower testosterone, cause inflammation, and restrict blood flow, all of which play a huge role in how you feel physically and mentally. In this video, I'll show you exactly which veggies to avoid first thing in the morning, why they're affecting your body more than you realize, and most importantly, what you should be eating instead. Stick around until the end, because I'll also share a simple morning routine that's helping men regain strength, stamina, and confidence in as little as 10 days. And if this message speaks to you, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, just type 0, so I know how I can better support you on your journey. All right, let's dive in. 1. Soy-based vegetables. The testosterone thief. Let's start with one of the biggest offenders, soy-based vegetables. You might see edamame, tofu scrambles, or soy milk as healthy options, especially if you're trying to reduce animal protein. But for men over 60, these foods can quietly sabotage your hormone balance. Why? Because soy contains phytoestrogens, plant compounds that mimic estrogen in the body. When you consume them regularly, especially on an empty stomach, they can suppress your natural testosterone levels. I remember working with a patient named Gerald, a 68-year-old teacher who was struggling with low libido and fatigue. His breakfast? A full spread of soy milk in his coffee, tofu scramble on toast, and edamame on the side. He thought he was doing everything right, but inside his body, those phytoestrogens were throwing off his hormonal balance. After removing soy from his diet and adding in some testosterone-supporting fats like avocado and pumpkin seeds, he told me, "It's like I got a part of myself back." That's the power of making the right food choices. But soy isn't the only silent threat you need to watch out for. Number 2. Eggplant, the inflammation trigger. This next one surprised even me when I first saw the data. Eggplant seems innocent enough, light, colorful, and often found in Mediterranean-style dishes. But here's the truth. Eggplant is a nightshade vegetable, and for men over 60, especially those with mild arthritis or sensitivities, it can trigger chronic inflammation. One of my patients, Carl, a sharp-minded 72-year-old, was dealing with declining performance and unexplained fatigue. He wasn't on medication, and his labs looked fine. But he was eating eggplant at least 4 mornings a week in Mediterranean-inspired breakfast bowls. The inflammation from those nightshades was quietly narrowing his blood vessels, reducing oxygen flow, and yes, impacting circulation where it matters most. Once we swapped eggplant for anti-inflammatory greens like kale and arugula, Carl came back with a grin and said, "Breakfast feels satisfying again." Small change, big impact. Jarka 3. Canned tomatoes with BPA-lined cans. Hormone disruptors. Tomatoes are rich in antioxidants, right? Absolutely, when they're fresh. But if you're grabbing canned tomatoes, especially ones that aren't labeled BPA-free, you might be exposing yourself to bisphenol A, or BPA, a synthetic estrogen linked to lower testosterone, increased belly fat, and reduced blood vessel function. Franklin, a 66-year-old patient of mine, made the switch from sugary cereals to eggs and tomato salsa, but didn't check the cans. His testosterone started dropping, and his energy plummeted. When we switched him to fresh or glass-jarred tomatoes, his energy came roaring back within 2 weeks. So always read labels and avoid BPA-lined cans whenever possible. 4. Pickled vegetables, the salt bomb. Sabotage pickled beets, cucumbers, sauerkraut. These tangy bites might seem gut-friendly, but starting your day with them can constrict blood vessels and raise blood pressure. Warren, a 70-year-old firefighter, had great habits, but was struggling with poor performance. He loved pickled veggies with breakfast, thinking they were good for digestion. What he didn't realize was the high sodium and acidic preservatives were cutting off blood flow to the very areas he needed it most. We replaced them with potassium-rich alternatives like spinach and sweet potatoes, and his body responded fast. Salt isn't evil, but too much too early in the day? That's a mistake many men pay for silently. 5. Raw onions on an empty stomach. Gut irritants. Onions are packed with antioxidants and can help boost circulation, but not when eaten raw first thing in the morning. Douglas, a 74-year-old reader, started slicing raw red onion into his breakfast toast after reading online that it boosts testosterone. Instead, he felt bloated, gassy, and sluggish. Worse, his energy dipped and his erections weakened. Turns out, raw onions on an empty stomach were irritating his gut lining, impairing nutrient absorption, especially zinc and B vitamins, both critical for male vitality. We moved his onion intake to lunch and dinner, added zinc-rich foods earlier in the day, and he laughed, saying, "Turns out timing really is everything." 6. Overcooked spinach. Zinc blocker. Spinach gets a glowing reputation, and deservedly so. It's rich in iron, fiber, and essential nutrients. But when you microwave or overcook it into a soggy mess, spinach releases oxalates, compounds that bind to minerals like zinc and calcium, preventing your body from absorbing them. Steve, a 69-year-old veteran, was microwaving spinach with eggs every morning, thinking he was supporting heart health. But over time, his drive dropped, his joints stiffened, and his erections faded. His zinc levels were low. Once we switched to lightly sautéed spinach and paired it with olive oil and pumpkin seeds, things turned around quickly. Cook smart. Not too much. 7. Garlic. Nature's paradox. Garlic is a powerhouse for heart health and circulation, but only when consumed the right way. Many men take a clove of raw garlic on an empty stomach, thinking it'll open up their blood vessels. But for some, especially older men, it can irritate the stomach lining, spike acid reflux, and impair nutrient absorption. John, a 73-year-old engineer, was swallowing raw garlic each morning and suffering digestive discomfort and fading intimacy. Switching to aged garlic extract, taken after breakfast, made a world of difference. 2 weeks later, he called me and said, "Doc, I feel 10 years younger, and my wife noticed too." Timing and form matter more than most people realize. So, what should you eat instead? Now that we've uncovered the 7 breakfast landmines, let's talk about what you can eat to restore energy, improve blood flow, and boost testosterone naturally. Men like Robert, a 71-year-old who wanted to feel like himself again, started with a simple plate. 2 soft-boiled eggs, a few slices of avocado, lightly steamed broccoli, a handful of pumpkin seeds. Within 2 weeks, he was waking up with energy, clarity, and connection, not just to his body, but to his life again. These foods are rich in healthy fats, zinc, B vitamins, and natural nitric oxide boosters. They don't just fuel your body, they nourish your masculinity. Want to give your morning a boost? Try a small glass of beetroot juice or pomegranate tea. Both help dilate blood vessels and get circulation flowing.